of the day, serving diverse populations across the state. Texans turn to Extension for solutions in horticulture, agriculture, 4-H and youth, and family and consumer sciences. Extension agents respond not only with answers, but also with resources and services that result in significant returns on investment to boost the economy. Join us Fridays at 1 o'clock for the AgriLife Extension Hour.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM. That's Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on the computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. A Lone Star Community Radio, broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
Hey, this is Skippy from Mornings with Lone Star with Dick and Skippy. You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
What you say, no, no. Don't come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Don't come back no more.
Good morning. Welcome to Mornings with Lone Star with Dick and Skippy. 9:23 on the dot of an early Monday morning. It is March the 18th. We have survived St. Patrick's Day. We both have. Thankfully, we have Bean Punk Coffee in our systems to help see us through. This is Skippy. I'm here with Dick. We're here with you this morning, live and uncensored.
Yeah, this morning we're going to be testing out doing YouTube and Facebook Live at the same time again. So let us know how things are going on your end. If you're interested in checking us out YouTube, our YouTube channel is Mornings with Lone Star. And then, of course, our Facebook channel is our facebook.com/MW Lone Star. So, hey, Sean, can you move mics? I feel like we get a lot of feedback from that mic.
This mic here?
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to move to another mic?
Yeah, move to another
I can
mic.
do that.
All right. It kind of bugs me when I hear that stuff. So, but yeah, it is Monday. It is the 18th. It is a interesting day here in Conroe, Texas. Hope you guys are ready for a neat week. For this week, I believe we have a guy running for president, which is going to be pretty remarkable. And you're on.
Another guy?
Yeah, another guy.
Someone's going to try and bleed some of my votes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that. But yeah, you start talking and I'll fix the camera.
There we go. Okay, so let me tell you about the weather and traffic right now. It is currently sunny, somewhat overcast, 48 degrees in downtown Conroe. We're going to get all the way up to 72. So cold night, warm day. It's going to be in the 70s all week long, maybe some thunderstorms later on in the week, and lows down in the 40s and 50s and 60s. So that's it. Traffic looked okay coming in from the Woodlands. So, of course, spring break is over for Conroe ISD. Of course, not for everybody. So be cautious out there. Kids are back in town. Buses are doing their thing. And let's drive safe. Don't forget, if you use your cell phone in a school zone, with your hand, that's like a $200 fine. So do not do it. Plus, you don't want to plow into anybody in a school zone. That's just wrong. But anyhow, so recovering from the weekend. Dick, how about you?
Doing well. It was an enjoyable weekend. We had the bowling tournament.
How'd it go?
It went well. And then we did.
Wait, you're not boasting about coming in first, second, or third?
We don't know the results yet.
Oh, okay.
So we're still waiting on that.
Is money to be paid?
Hopefully, yeah.
Like my friend Mr. Lincoln here says, I bowled a 280. Anything like that?
I don't know.
Okay.
We'll see. I'm trying to get you on the screen now.
Okay. I'll also know that Rising Stars and Legends, the week-long celebration, ended this weekend. It was like a raging success. We got to talk to listener Dennis because apparently he was part of the Gong Show. They had a Gong Show scenario there at the Crichton Theater.
Okay.
And also, I went to go see Godspell over the weekend. What a great show. It was nicely done. I did not realize it had been updated. There was only one part I didn't like with the updates. They tried to make it a little bit too modern. But other than that, great show, great talent on it. Hats off to Mary Yost, who's the director, and live band, And I think they got one more weekend left, so you definitely want to go see Godspell if you can. And shout out to Rick Schisler. Appreciate you helping me get to that show. And then after that, we got Happy Days coming up at the Owen Theater. Looking forward to that. Rehearsals are in full swing for Happy Days the musical. And I think the Crichton is recovering from all the stuff that happened with the Rising Stars and Legends concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm still trying to fix this 1 second.
No, okay. Well, then I'll just keep
It
talking
won't
here.
let me select it.
Oh, no. Hold on. Let me grab my Bean Punk coffee. Yum. Don't forget, we are partners with Bean Punk Coffee with locations in both downtown Conroe and Montgomery. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Thank you for keeping our studio so nice and clean. And creative content creation, C3memories.com. C3memories.com. Don't box your memories. Let C3 bring them to life. Nice little sound bite there. So anyhow, let's talk about why I chose the bumper music that I did.
Okay.
Hit the Road Jack. Apparently, because it's funny, just the other day, it was kind of running through my mind for no readily apparent reason. In regards to the Jack the Ripper case, I felt that surely some DNA had been left behind, and wouldn't they not want to run DNA? Well, apparently someone did. And there is an organization that has very confidently stated in a journal that they know who Jack the Ripper was.
Okay.
Well, it's just kind of going to be a spoiler. If you don't want to know, and these, by the way, these are the researchers at Liverpool John Moores University, conducted genetic tests on a shawl left at a murder scene, a Ripper murder scene, a night where 2 women were killed. And apparently the DNA of all 3 are involved, so, which is why they're very confident in their findings.
So what they discovered this murder from how long ago?
1880, around 1880, in the 1880s is when it
So
went
when they
down.
discover who it is, what does it matter? Just because it's the end of the story?
Well, you think about the stories, the books, the movies, the mythology behind Jack the Ripper. Because my favorite movie of all time is a Jack the Ripper movie called Time After Time, and you have that. You have Night of the Ripper.
Well,
you have
I guess
Murder by Decree.
someone's spending the money to do this. I don't think it's the official police.
No, this isn't Scotland Yard.
So
This
no,
this is a research university.
Okay,
John Moores University.
So you're telling me Nicolas Cage is on the pursuit of finding out who the Jack the Ripper killer is?
Nicholas, in what that movie where they're trying to National Treasure.
So that's what you're telling me.
Right.
You're telling me this rogue agent.
Oh, no, researchers.
So now there's some other party out there that says we're descendants of Jack the Ripper. I don't want anyone to know that our family.
Oh, mix that in like a Dan Brown story.
So-
Yeah, that would work. But anyhow, drum roll. They state that Jack the Ripper was Polish barber Aaron Kosminski, who has
this is already done.
yeah.
Cat's out of the bag.
Cat's out of the bag. They and not only has Kosminski been one of the top 5 suspects since day one,
interesting. Okay.
that he was brought in, questioned, but they didn't have enough, so they released him. But also there was another DNA test that happened a few years ago that favored him, but they didn't. The test wasn't up to snuff.
So now the family is going to be subjugated. Is there a family? Is there a descendant?
I don't know if there are descendants. That would be interesting.
With today's world, with the way politics and everything's going, it wouldn't surprise me that they try to arrest these people.
Well, Kosminski was 23 years old at the time. Investigators identified Kosminski as their prime suspects in the killings in 1888. However, they did not have enough proof to solve the case.
No, because are you seeing what they're doing in New Zealand and other places in the UK? Where if you're found with the video, with a copy of the stream of that murder,
Oh,
you're getting arrested too.
I do know that, Facebook.
They've already arrested several people in New Zealand about they were caught discussing it online.
Now, how do you feel about that?
I think it's a horrible decision to make.
I do. I mean, now here's the thing. Don't forget, other countries don't have a Bill of Rights like we
Yeah.
do. People think, well, you have freedom of speech. You don't have freedom of speech everywhere. And I know that Facebook has taken down 1.5 million copies of the video. And so, I applaud the social media platforms that were doing everything they can. I applaud the media outlets who are refusing to name the individual and individuals
I mean,
involved.
don't you think this video would actually be used for a training exercise for police?
Yeah, but for police.
Yeah, but I mean, if they're just going to outright ban it, I mean, I imagine there's a police.
Well, it's from public view. Now, here's the thing. I don't think the public has a right to know everything, and I think something should be banned. So I got no problem with it, but it's just some of the outrage going, well, this is, against freedom of speech, and I got to point out, Americans enjoy freedom of speech, but a lot of other people don't.
The thing that I don't like about it is the whole discussion ban.
Yeah, that's going too far.
So it's kind of like
Because the government's arresting people discussing having a non-illegal discussion.
Yeah.
Now, the event may have been illegal, obviously, but the discussion of said event is not illegal. So I'd like to know the crimes that these people are being arrested for. Is it conspiracy after the fact?
Well, I think the main anchoring one is they were in possession or had possession of the video.
Okay.
Like they saw it, they had access to it, or something more along the lines because they were all discussing it online.
And I say, okay. And
So that's what they had, and that's how they got to go knock on the door with the whatever warrant.
yeah, I think it's a dangerous overreach, but of course, that's beholden to the laws of whatever country is involved with their law enforcement.
Well, I
in
think-
America, you can't get away with something so blatant. That's why Facebook was, they were begged, please take these down, and they stepped up.
Yeah.
But if the government, now, if it was deemed national security, the government could order it shut down. And I would have applauded that just as well, because I think this is something that could fall under national security levels, because to see it like that can really encourage copycats.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm glad that many news outlets on both sides of the aisle, the left-leaning and right-leaning ones, are refusing to name the suspect or suspects. It's like, we're not going to give you the bandwidth on this. And I really appreciate that.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I think the streaming people are going to have a really interesting future.
Well, if these arrests, overseas arrests hold up, and these people
Well,
are
I'm more of just people are going to be like the copycats are going to happen.
Well, yes, there's always a danger of that, which is why the first one has to be vigorously and rigorously.
No, I just think that people
Prosecuted.
I think it's a time of the generations, because most younger generations now. Like, would you say let's look at this a little weird in a weird standpoint. Okay, say every generation there's how many people were born, whatever the amount is. So no matter what, out of that percentage of the people born that generation, some of them are going to be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that? That's fair?
Absolutely.
So you're saying I could say the mass murderers of tomorrow are going to be smarter because of the way our technology and everything's, like, if we're hoping for a better future for our education system, a byproduct of that is teaching the future homicidal maniacs. It's just part of the way that's how we are.
Yeah, well, you can have the genetic glitches. There's
So-
nature versus nurture.
And so the younger group streams. They do all that stuff. They YouTube. They grow up in that world. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't see why this isn't going to go away. This is going to either go straight up or it's going to be gradually going up like that way.
Unless, not unless. The one thing that may help stem that is, again, to be ruthless in the pursuit of those people right up front. If you stream this, you're going to end up in jail for life or in a CIA black hole somewhere.
But you're also talking about somebody who's already gone over the edge. You're talking about somebody, so most of the time we don't care if they don't come back.
Well, how can I phrase this? Mass murderer like that is not dumb in the classic sense. They want to succeed in their goal. And so they will put on the bulletproof vest. They will bring extra ammunition.
Yeah, and then they'll start streaming it.
Yeah, but what I mean is that
Especially if they have a manifesto, because
They
people
will-
love the word manifesto.
someone wants to kill someone else, they will find a way. We also have the tram shooting in the Netherlands, where I hate to put it like this. Fortunately, right now, only one person has died. Many were injured.
Yeah.
But the Netherlands, in the Netherlands, only law enforcement and strictly licensed hunters can have weapons, firearms in the Netherlands. And so, like, when you're a hunter, you have to, like, be a member of this organization for a year and take these classes. It's so strictly, but private citizens cannot have guns. Yet we still have mass shooting in the Netherlands.
Did they ever discuss or find out how he got the weapons?
It's still under investigation. But the fact is, someone wants to kill someone else or other people, they will figure it out. They will find out a way. So I'm not giving them credence when I say they're not dumb, because they're dumb for what they're doing, but they're not dumb in that, well, I'm just going to walk in there with no bulletproof vest and no extra ammunition and hope for the best. No, there's a plan.
Okay. Well, you're listening to Mornings Lone Star, opening it up, and it is going to be all the way to 11 o'clock today, so stick around. Feel free to chat with us on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Dennis also want to let you know the Gong Show was great fun, Sean.
Yeah.
So the Gong Show was a success, and that's mainly because Dennis was in it. We all know how good he is and what he adds. He has that plus to the A when it comes to performances.
This is true.
We are, you're listening to Lone Star Community Radio, Mornings with Lone Star. We'll be back after these messages.
Business office cleaning is available in the Montgomery County area from Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, with scheduled cleaning services such as floor care, window care, trash collection, restroom disinfection, and stair and elevator cleaning. Clean Sweep can service a business one time or on a regular schedule, with daily, weekly, and monthly options. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning can be found online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or by calling 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Our talk shows and music shows are looking for sponsors. Want to expand your brand awareness? Reach the hyper-local audience in Montgomery County? Lone Star Community Radio sponsorships accomplish this. Want to see our stats and rates? Check out ourlonestar.com/sponsor for more information. Or call in and leave us a message at 936-647-3776 with your questions. Get seen on TV, YouTube, and heard on our podcast, FM, and internet radio. Support your local radio station with Lone Star Community Radio.
An estimated 1 in 10 births will result in a neonatal intensive care stay, also known as the NICU. Overnight, a family can find themselves and their newborn baby in a critical situation. The Mila Foundation financially and spiritually assists families in need. If you would like to volunteer or become a monthly sponsor, please visit us at www.themilafoundation.org. Again, that's www.themilafoundation.org, because every life matters.
Are you one of those who feel that life is too short to drink bad coffee? Then come to Bean Pond Coffee. Bean Pond Coffee is open with 2 locations. Whether you're in downtown Conroe or historic Montgomery, we have the best fresh brewed and specialty coffee, delicious pastries, and courteous staff. Come visit us at 330 North Main Street in Conroe or 401 College Street, Suite 170 in Montgomery. Visit beanpondcoffee.com to see our complete list of special events.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
All right, welcome back. Mornings Lone Star, irlonestar.com, broadcasting live on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. Enjoying our day today. Don't forget, we're partners with Bean Pond Coffee, creative content creation, c3memories.com, and Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. And continuing on to the discussion, U of H is going into March Madness. So,
Are they?
Yeah, so that's going to be kind of fun.
Awesome.
Right? Remember Clyde the Dry, or what was his name?
Clyde the Glide.
Clyde the Glide.
Got it. Hakeem the Dream, or actually it was, Hakeem the Dream. Then he became Hakeem. Clyde the Glide. Who was the other one? We could always do Banana Nana Fofana. We could do that game. But just don't do it with, who is that rocket we had for a while? Charles Barkley? Yeah. Don't do the banana name game with Chuck.
You didn't appreciate it?
Chuck, Bobuck. Just keep going.
Okay. I like it. All right. So, I just want to let you know, I'm going to be rooting them. They're playing on Friday. So,
Playing on Friday. Who are they playing?
Georgia State.
And what's the over-under?
I think they have a good chance going. They have a tough bracket.
Well,
know
I have
that.
no idea what that means.
So
I hear it all the time. What's the over-under?
I have no idea. I just know they have a tough bracket.
You could tell me anything.
So-
I would believe it. You could say 412 and I'd believe you because I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, gambling on that end. I like black or red. That's the only thing. I get that game. I
Exactly.
get that game.
I hit on anything below 17, and that's pretty much my my gambling
That's pretty
expertise.
Well, outside that, anything else going on you want to talk about? I know your Happy Days is coming your way, our way, I guess. And a couple. Was it open? It opens
May the 10th.
Plenty of time.
Oh yeah, we got plenty of time. Rehearsals are just starting. We had a rehearsal last week for characterizations where I talked with the actors because 90% of the cast, not only were they not alive during the Happy Days era, like the 50s,
Well, yeah, I would
but
have
also
no
the
idea where
actual
to start.
TV series.
Yeah.
In the 70s, I was at least alive for the series. And Rick Sellers, the Reluctant Cowboy, he's playing Mr. Cunningham in this production. So those of us of a certain age remember the 70s TV show, but we're trying to convey it to these 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds who are in the cast going, you have no idea what a sitcom in the 70s was like. Especially with this production, we're going to treat it like it's a live taping of an actual episode of the series.
Do you think that restricts your creativeness to it, though?
No, you walk a fine line, and I know where you're going with that, and that's what I had to talk to them about, is that we have to pay homage to the originals, but we got to remain true to some parts, but there's still plenty of room for artistic expression.
Yeah.
You can't have a Fonzie with a Southern drawl. He's a New Jersey boy. Or you can't put him in a white John Travolta disco suit and be artistic with that. Or you can't have long blonde hair.
See, I think you can.
But
because I didn't grow up at that time.
Well, there are shows that,
and I wouldn't automatically hate it. I wouldn't be like, "Oh, this is horrible." This is
true,
insane.
but a show like that is for the people who either remember.
We know you're like that. All the comic book movies. You're just like, "Oh, they got that shade of red wrong."
No, I'm not
horrible.
I'm not
horrible.
that. I'm just waiting for Grey Hulk to show up.
So he did.
Did he?
The Abomination already showed up, bro.
Oh, see, that's what happens when you don't
missed
watch
it.
any of the movies.
Edward Norton. Come on.
Oh, that one, yeah. Yeah. I forgot about that one. Wasn't that one based on the TV series, though, more?
I think it was a hybrid.
Okay. Because I know he even had the Don't Make Me Angry.
Well, that's one
like
thing I
going
would
an
love
angry
to
line.
be in the movie making world. It's like, are we going to have a sequel or not? Because it kind of like determines what I write down on the first script. And it's like, oh, we'll see. Well, that's what everyone gets told. We'll see. We'll see. I was like, well, I don't want to.
Well, that's why so many sequels are horrendous because they've got to fit the second story into what happens in the first. And like Highlander is a classic example. Highlander ended just fine and dandy as a single movie. They never thought there'd be a sequel. Well, when the moneymaker said, "Oh, we need a sequel," it's like, but
we don't need to do anything. Let's send them to space.
Yeah, but well, let's make them aliens from planet Zeist.
Yeah,
and it just took off.
I know they thought they could do anything. They had Queen as their soundtrack,
right?
So
Love that
if
soundtrack.
Queen's doing the soundtrack, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna make money."
Now, here's the thing: did you know that there was never actually a Highlander soundtrack that was released with the Queen songs?
I haven't.
Queen eventually came up with an album called "It's a Kind of Magic," which they put in some of the songs, but not all of them. There's a version of New York, New York that Freddie Mercury sings in the movie, and it's nowhere. It's never been released.
Okay.
Unless it's on the dark web somewhere.
Because I might have it.
You might have
I
it?
have the soundtrack. I collected the whole thing. So I'm pretty sure New York's on it.
Oh, you got to let me know because people
So,
people looking for that one.
I'm a big Highlander fan. This is how ridiculous.
Love Highlander, the first one. The series had its moments too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, the guy from the Who's on it.
Roger Daltrey. I love Roger. I love him and I love his character too.
I know, it's so random.
He was
So
Hugh
random.
Fitzpatrick or something. So what did you do for St. Patrick's Day besides just bowling?
Bowling. That's what I did.
Uh-huh.
I had a green beer. I had that. We went to Southern Star the night before.
Okay.
For their anniversary. I think there was their 13th anniversary or 11th, one of those. So that was a lot of fun. They had our local band, Folk Family Revival, was there.
Mm-hmm.
And the beer was tasting very good. And I saw a bunch of local people there. It was a lot of fun.
Did you bowl before or after the beer?
Oh, this is the next day. I bowled the next day.
Were you recovering from the green
Yeah, I
beer?
was fine.
Okay.
I've been practicing for like 10 years.
This is how I roll. This is my jam now.
So it was funny. Is one of my friends lives in Chicago, and he was telling me about the river and about how St. Patrick's Day there is huge. Like everyone's drinking all day for the whole 3 days. And I had to laugh because our discussion on Friday when we talked a little bit about how it's more of an American Irish thing,
Right.
not really an Irish thing, and clearly it's a Chicago thing because they dye the river.
Right.
So
Yeah. I heard that it was at Savannah, Georgia, which is a site of a huge St. Patrick's Day festival, just got trashed beyond recognition. I saw some pictures. There was just so much trash left behind. People, if you're going to party, clean up after yourselves. That's all I'm saying.
yeah. Well, I think it's going to happen no matter what you do. There's going to be drunks.
Well, yeah, but there's drunks. I mean, when you got to look at the pictures of Savannah. Just type up Savannah
Well,
trash.
Just trash anywhere. Just go to any beach.
True.
So,
Looks like maybe it was the Occupy Wall Street people were there.
yeah. But, you got any headlines for me?
Well, yeah, I want to give a big shout out to Thelma Chiaka. Thelma, who delivered 6 babies in 9 minutes. So she had sextuplets there,
Yeah.
and they just came shooting out one by one. This is at the Women's Hospital of Texas here in Houston.
Was she just surprised? She's like, oh, I'm pregnant?
No, she knew she was pregnant. I think the surprise is that 9 minutes. This wasn't like C-section where, they're yanking them out one by one. This is like vending machine or slot machine. Ding, 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 ding. But yeah, so she's named
I imagine
the 2 daughters.
I bet she slept probably the best sleep she's ever had in a while.
Yeah, it's going to be the last time for a while.
So how many, 9 kids?
6.
6?
6 kids, 9
So she's
minutes.
carrying around 9 kids?
6 kids.
6 kids? She's carrying around 6 kids?
Yeah, now that they're smaller. The average, it was like 1 pound, 3 ounces to 2 pounds, 10 ounces were the sizes. But she's named she named the 2 daughters, Zena and Zuriel. But she says she's too tired to name the 4 boys yet. So I can imagine. So I hope you got your sleep when you could, because you ain't going to get it anymore. Not for 16 years now.
What's the most births ever? Was it 8 or 9?
Well, you had Nadia Suleiman, who was the Octomom.
Yeah.
And I think she had 8. I don't know if she had them all at the same time, though.
Okay. That'd be really awkward to get that kind of notoriety and you don't really want to talk about it.
Well, that was her thing. She wanted the notoriety.
Watch this lady hate boys. And so that's why she only named the girls. It's like, oh, I don't want to tell the press that I'm putting the boys up for adoption. That'd be real awkward.
Right. So, yeah, shout out to Thelma there. Hope you got some sleep. Are you on the ticket stub? Are you guys going to talk about Pet Sematary anytime soon?
Chris reviewed the original 1986 version.
Yeah, thereabouts, 86, 89.
Yeah. So he's going to go see the new one, but
Well, apparently it's getting rave reviews already.
well, I mean, that's a neat story.
Well, the book actually scared the snot out of me at the end. I finished reading it in the middle of the night and had the heebie-jeebies all night long. The book, I mean, the original movie was okay. It was good. I think it was the best they could do with what they had at the time. And I think their biggest mistake was kind of showing Denise Crosby at the end. She's brought back to life, and all I could do was look at the special effects they put on her, the prosthetics and the blood popping. I was like, oh, okay, there's where that pump was. Apparently, this movie is they're taking some dramatic license, and I'm not opposed to it. If you know the story, it's this family, husband and wife, and their 2 young kids.
Well, John Lithgow's in it. So.
John Lithgow, he's playing the Herman Munster role, I guess. That there's a cemetery nearby where people bury their pets, and the pets come back to life, but they come back changed. And so one of the children gets killed, and the dad goes a little crazy and buries the child in Pet Cemetery, and the child comes back. Now, in the book, it's the 3-year-old boy and not the 6-year-old girl. In this movie, they've reversed it. It's the 6-year-old girl who comes back. And I've seen some trailers, and I think the trailers kind of scare the snot out of me.
Well, scary movies have gone to the next level in the past 5 years.
Well, the interesting thing about this one,
I mean, think about like Hereditary that came out, and then you have Us, which is out now, and then I mean, people regard Get Out as a horror movie,
right?
but like we it's almost like we needed to go through the Saws and like the ultra violent movies to come out to
The thrillers again.
Let's make a smart scary movie.
Yeah. Well, that's why I think Paranormal Activity was such a raging success, with the exception of the very last scene. And remember, that wasn't the original ending. You know, when the body goes flying at the camera. That was actually a reshoot. There's no ultra violence in it. It's all psychological.
Yeah.
And now, one thing about the new Pet Cemetery, because it had a a showing at South by Southwest, they said that it's surprisingly funny. It's like almost a dark comedy until you get to Act 3.
Well, when there's animals in it and they have to recreate a zombie animal, I feel like there's some humor to that because everyone, PETA's all over that production, so they have to do the best they can to recreate a zombie cat. Which I think when I remember the first Pet Cemetery, that I laugh every time because who was the actor who gets attacked by the cat?
Dale Midkiff.
And I even make the joke that
no, it was I'm trying to remember who it was, but yeah.
I always make the joke for actors is that should be part of their actor training is pretend to be attacked by a wild small critter. And because, in every movie it just looks so ridiculous where it's like a raccoon, you're like, ugh, and you're just throwing it around.
It reminds me of the thrown pillow scene in The Naked Gun.
Yeah. And that's how you train people. Like, all right, let's see if you can make it believable. And that's what you should do to your folks over at Happy Days.
Just throw pet raccoons at them.
And like, if you're going to be an actor, you got to act the scene. And the other scene they should do is the Batman monologue scene. They should do that. When he interrogates the Joker, it gets real intense.
Oh, yeah. Where is she?
I'm telling you, that's how actors get their range. So just throw a pet raccoon at them. Like, let's see. You don't think that's like a staple in acting? Is like pretend to be attacked by a small critter?
You can go to these acting workshops like the Stanislavski method or those put on by frustrated actors, and they have you do all these really weird acting exercises. And it's not for me personally. I'm not that caliber of actor. I laugh at it myself, but anyone wishing to pursue these acting exercises, I can't make fun of because they got to find their own answers.
Yeah.
But I personally laugh with dig deep, find it. No, shake your head, nod your head, yes, but say the word no at the same time and feel the dichotomy within you. And I can't do that. Can't do it.
Aren't you a serious actor though?
I have my moments, but to me, I'm not a professional actor. It's not my chosen job.
I can see you being like a bad guy in Law and Order.
Oh yeah, I'd do that.
I can see you being that real creative. You're like everyone's like, I hate this slime ball.
I love playing a bad guy.
Yeah,
I really do. And I loved when I was in 12 Angry Men. I got to play the bad guy juror, the one that he's the last holdout, and he's
slime ball.
Yeah, he's a slime ball, but. You got to look into the whys, and when I came up with the backstory for my character, and people found out about it, they would actually come watch it again to see me act the way, but knowing what they knew about the backstory. Basically, for my character, he's in a jury about a kid that's apparently murdered his father and knifed his father to death, and so for my backstory for my character, I had it to where when he was young, he murdered his own father in a knife attack, and so he thinks it's a setup. That he's nervous because he's locked in this room, and he thinks it's and since he came over from Germany, he thinks it may be a big elaborate ruse. And so when people found out about that, they'd come back to watch and like, oh, see, we thought you were just an ass, but now we see why you were an ass, and it makes sense. I didn't make him sympathetic at all. It wasn't like like what Rob Zombie did with Michael Myers in the new Halloween movies. We're supposed to pity Michael Myers. No, he's walking evil. You don't pity him.
No, I think it just when you make decisions like you just said, I think it depends on the artist. Good artists can convince you to change your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So Rob Zombie, in your perspective, didn't do a good job.
No, not at all. Because I don't want to pity Michael Myers. I want to be afraid of the boogeyman.
I bet a good storyteller could convince you.
But no, that seems to be the thing where you take a bad guy, but you make them sympathetic by making them a bullied child. Well, so to me, what that says is, okay, young Michael Myers got bullied, so he grew up to be this killing machine. Therefore, it's okay to grow up to be a killing machine because bullying's bad.
Yeah.
No, sometimes you just got a bad
the
seed.
whole premise of The Sopranos.
In what context?
Like, isn't he like everything's kind of blamed on his childhood, and that's why he's like a.
Well, I can't deny that what happens to you as a child shapes you as an adult. But there seems to be a rash of movies, especially remakes, where you'd have an evil character, but then you'd find out why they were evil. Freddy Krueger, same thing. And when it first started out, he was a pedophile. He's a child killer and a child molester who the parents killed. Then you find out later on he did that because he was demonically possessed, and it wasn't him. It was sometimes you just have a really evil person who does his thing. And so
does his
thing.
All right. Well, we're going to take our break, and we'll be back. And guys, if you have a topic for us to talk about, let us know. We'll reach out and do it on Facebook Live and YouTube. We'll be back. You listen to Mornings Lone Star, irlonestar.com.
Business office cleaning is available in the Montgomery County area from Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, with scheduled cleaning services such as floor care, window care, trash collection, restroom disinfection, and stair and elevator cleaning. Clean Sweep can service a business one time or on a regular schedule, with daily, weekly, and monthly options. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning can be found online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or by calling 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
For those of you who like your partners, your gumbo, and your music salty, well, we're here to help with the music. Julian Shea here, host of Lone Star Country Nights Thursday, your weekly dose of roots and Americana and all the music that makes this part of the country special. We stir in Western swing, honky-tonk, Zydeco, Texas blues, outlaw country, and put a pinch of red dirt, and then we smoke it over a slow fire. Then listen to the results Thursday nights on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 and worldwide at irlonestar.com.
Did you know there are more than 790 abused and neglected children currently in foster care in Montgomery County? Will you help make a difference? I'm Allie Stevens with Casa Child Advocates of Montgomery County. We train and support volunteers to be the voice of children in the foster care system. Kids are removed from their home because of abuse and neglect, and we need volunteers just like you to advocate for these children. To learn more about becoming an advocate, please visit CasaSpeaksForKids.com. That's CasaSpeaksForKids.com.
Are you one of those who feel that life is too short to drink bad coffee? Then come to Bean Pong Coffee. Bean Pong Coffee is open with 2 locations. Whether you're in downtown Conroe or historic Montgomery, we have the best fresh brewed and specialty coffee, delicious pastries, and courteous staff. Come visit us at 330 North Main Street in Conroe or 401 College Street, Suite 170 in Montgomery. Visit beanpongcoffee.com to see our complete list of special events.
Remember to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on your computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. Lone Star Community Radio broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
Welcome back. Mornings Lone Star, irlonestar.com, 10 a.m. right here on Mornings Lone Star. You know, we were talking a little bit about movies, and I wanted to get your opinion.
Okay.
James Gunn has been reinstated as the director of Guardians of Galaxy 3. So if you don't know the story, he was the director of the Guardians of Galaxy 1 and 2. And someone posted old tweets.
And we're talking like college level tweets, if memory serves.
Well, I mean, I think whenever Twitter hasn't been on for that long.
No,
has it?
Well,
you mean like the IQ of the person doing the tweets? Because the tweets are pretty bad.
They are, yeah.
So, but he was making jokes about kids and all that kind of stuff. And well, Disney decided to fire him from his role, and now they reinstated. What do you think? How do you think that phone call went?
Hey, man, you doing anything? Because, well, you know, here at the front office, we've been talking, and maybe we
don't like
overreacted.
John. John's wrong.
Yeah, you brought the vision that we're kind of like, people, it's the money. That's what happened. They realized there's the only way this movie's going to sell is with the original director.
Yeah.
And
I can see a lot of fear going on around the creative world just because of headlines that go into the media that's negative, because they're starting to realize, it does cause us to lose money.
Well, and there we go. It's funny, Dick. I was watching The Walking Dead last night, and afterwards was The Talking Dead, which is the follow-up show hosted by Chris Hardwick. And it got me thinking, whatever happened? Because you had Yvette Nicole Brown, who was one of the guests on with him last night, and when he was fired from everything last year, she sat in for him. It's like, well, they seem to be getting along really nicely, so obviously there's no hard feelings that she came in for him. And I thought, well, whatever happened with that? So I did a news search on anything about the follow-up, because remember this gal said she had tapes or something like that? Yeah. Literally, after he got reinstated, the former girlfriend, Chloe, what's her name?
I'm interested.
All she just says, well, I just want to move on with my life. And that was it. That was last March or April, I think, was when the last news report hit. And at that point, the news just stopped it. So they wanted him dead. They wanted Chris Hardwick dead for months.
Yeah.
The Nerdist fired him, Walking Dead fired him, everything. And then all of a sudden you had his former girlfriends and current wife and everything going, this literally is not him. It doesn't make sense. And so they were going, please provide the proof that you say you have. And she's like, well, I just want to move on with my life. And that was it. And the news just completely, how in the past we've talked about, we like to have follow-up stuff.
If you're an IT guy and you have a news organization, you call it thefollowup.com. Make a lot of money.
Because there was literally zero follow-up to that.
Yeah.
And just bugged the snot out of me on that.
Well, the James Gunn thing is kind of funny to me because there was proof. It wasn't a situation like he said, she said. Like
no. He actually said some stupid stuff, but is that?
But it was so long ago, and it's something that whoever's working in the industry has seen before.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see why you need to fire a person because of that. But I find it funny that they decided after what was a year now. So basically, the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is a year behind just because of them being horrible at managing their own people.
Yep.
So, and now he's doing, I don't know if you did that, saw this, they're redoing Suicide Squad. So,
wait, are they going to reboot it?
Completely reboot.
This is why DC...
He's directing it.
Well, this is why DC can't hold a candle to the Marvel Universe right now, because they'll put out a bad movie and they're like, oh, that didn't work. Okay, let's reboot it. Okay, this one didn't work. Let's reboot it again. Let's reboot Batman 3 times. Let's reboot Superman 2 or 3 times. Let's reboot Suicide Squad. And at least the Marvel Universe, because Spider-Man is now part of it, but originally he wasn't, which is why they kept on rebooting him for the Sony.
Outside of scary movies, that's the only genre that's going to be successful consistently.
Superhero movies?
Yeah, right now.
Right now. Then it's going to go back to being spy movies or end of the world movies or whatever.
I think superhero movies are going to be around for a while.
Oh, they will, but eventually it'll fade out. I mean, think about for a while vampire movies.
You can only do Superman so many times.
You can only reboot Superman so many times. So. And here's the thing: they could have done the whole Superman movie on the death of Superman. There's the whole thing. Where they have the the clones and the replacement Superman until he comes back. They could have done that, but no, they just decided to make it part of we're just he's dead, but he's back in the next movie. That's why I think the X-Men keeps on
they should have done
missing the bullet
thing.
The X-Men keeps missing the bullet too, because Jean Grey's become the Phoenix like 3 or 4 times now, over and over again. It's just.
Well, I think also a lot of times when they're making these movies, there's not a clear direction they're trying to do. I think the Paul Feig, or I can't pronounce his last name, the guy who's in charge of Marvel, really has a good oversight of like, this is what we want our products to be like. And we definitely have a plan that's going to be longer than the 2 years.
And it also all fits the same universe. And that's why I have a problem, as I said the other day, with Shazam, because it's a flat-out comedy. It doesn't fit the seriousness of Justice League or the
No, I
seriousness-
think what they would probably end up doing is if it's successful, they'll incorporate. They're trying to find characters that people like, because when they do the Justice League type movies, they want you already be invested in the characters you like. So Shazam, Aquaman, they're just trying to figure out what characters are good enough to keep around, and if it doesn't work, then you won't see them anymore. Like one thing I always wondered, I want to know the truth behind it was, if you remember the Marvel universe, you have two Marvel characters who aren't involved really that much in it, as Black Widow and Hawkeye.
Mhm.
And I always wondered, like, if you remember the very beginning, they were involved a lot. And then all of a sudden, they're like, oh no, like, let's not write them in. Like, we don't really, like, they literally had Hawkeye disappear for like 2 movies, 3 movies.
Well, I think that was I think that was on the actor for
You think
something.
so?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, because I feel like they pay you a lot of money.
Well, he's back. Jeremy, what's his name? But he's back in
They
Endgame.
pay you a lot of money.
True.
I mean, every movie you make more money, I imagine, if you're
Mhm.
smart. Because that's how people make a lot of
Oh,
money.
I don't disagree on that. But both Black Widow and Hawkeye are prominently displayed in the new Avengers.
Well, I think because they killed everyone else off.
Right. So, it was like, okay, you're out this movie, but you're in.
Well, that's
for
what I'm
the
saying.
next
I'm
one.
interested to see the discussion between the actor and the production company, because you got at one point go, I just don't want to do this. I'm getting tired of it. I don't want to do this kind of movie anymore. But then I don't think that's the case. I think it was just kind of like, if you're not going to give me my own movie, why keep doing it? Because I imagine that's what Scarlett Johansson's doing with Black Widow. You think she'd get her own movie by now?
Oh, I'm sure she will eventually, but
I mean, what was that movie with Jennifer? What's her name?
Lawrence?
The Hunger Games. Yeah, she was in that spy movie. They should have just not done that spy movie and just done a Black Widow movie.
Mhm.
But I doubt it's the same company and stuff. But I mean, like that should have been a Black Widow movie right there. What was it called? Red Robin.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But no, see, all the Marvel movies, at least they have the same flavor. Even when they go funnier, like with Ant-Man, it's still believable that Ant-Man will get serious in the Avengers movies. They all the movies are in the same envelope of believability. In DC, no, it's half of it's comic book, just flat out comic book schmaltz, and the other half is trying to be ultra serious with Zack Snyder, and take bleed all the fun out of it, and then let's have 4 different Batmen, and they can't make up their minds.
People are ready for Game of Thrones, and the Watchmen's coming to HBO too. So the lineup over at HBO is pretty stellar right now.
Mhm.
So you're not a big Game of Thrones person, are you?
I haven't seen any episodes.
So, that's coming, I think, next month.
I don't dislike it. Unfortunately, I know everything that's supposed to be a shocker. I know about it because friends can't stop talking about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Like, the Red Wedding. I know there's going to be a lot of people dying. But maybe one day I'll watch it. I just have other shows to watch right now.
Oh, really? You're Mr. Busy. Well, Happy Days? How many episodes of Happy Days have you watched?
Very few, actually, because I'm remembering from the old days. I watched
Well, I thought
one.
you're trying to recreate the whole
No,
thing.
you don't want to recreate it, but you need to watch it enough to say, what color were the booths at Arnold's? Little things like that can help. Because
Does the Fonz kick or punch the jukebox?
usually, yeah, he did both. Usually he'd either kick it with a backhand kick, or he'd do the thunk, the single fist.
Yeah. That's important.
It is. You want to learn little things like that, but I don't want to completely just mimic.
Jukebox lives matter, man. You shouldn't have that kind of abuse.
That's right.
So, does he really sing? Because Alphonse always seemed to me like he didn't sing; he just singed. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, in the TV show, he didn't sing. Anson Williams sang Potsy. When they found out the actor could sing really well, they gave him a lot of singing roles. Hey, you're going to start your own band. Now, my Fonzie, an actor named Kane, he sings quite nicely.
Yeah, but I
it's a
still
musical.
imagine the Fonz carrying a tune.
No, he never sang in the TV series because it wasn't a musical. Now, they would have music put in there because they had Susie Quattro, the singer who inspired people like Joan Jett, she played Leather Tuscadero, so she would come in and sing every now and then, but it wasn't a musical per se. But one show I did watch over the weekend, I noticed a channel was having a not a binge, but kind of a marathon. So I started recording some episodes. It was Adam Ruins Everything.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about Leprechaun.
Oh, I saw that too, that they were showing all the Leprechaun
Yeah,
movies.
and Leprechaun, they premiered the 10th one with Leprechaun Returns.
Oh, Lord. I missed that.
Do you think you could stomach that many Leprechaun movies?
They were fun. They knew it was a movie that knew exactly what it was supposed to be.
Eventually blend in together.
Yeah.
For sure, right?
Well, that's the problem with binge watching a TV series. You can't remember, okay, I saw this, but what episode was that? In the old days, we could separate it by a week. So we could compartmentalize. Now, I binged some shows that I can't remember what happened or how long ago it happened. But Adam Ruins Everything, I kind of enjoyed. I watched a select few episodes. And for the most part, I enjoy his take on things.
Well, that's not his take. It's the writers.
Oh, true. And actually, he would have an episode where he talked about that.
Yeah.
He was talking about the fakeness of Hollywood, like reality shows. And he would actually have experts like, this is the casting director of the OC or something. And the guy say, oh, yeah, we'd have a writer's room with this and that. We changed, they're writers, but we called them story producers. And then Adam even said, my show has a lot of fakeness to it. And then they talked about it going, yeah, I'm a know-it-all in real life, but most of the stuff comes from these people. And
they're the real know-it-alls.
Yeah.
They're the smug jerks.
Right? So it was very interesting.
Well, no, Holly likes that show, and I go, can you imagine being a writer on that show? That's your sole job is to take a interesting truth topic or a point of view, but then make it smug.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing like I enjoyed about it because he tries to be as fair, he distributes as fairly as possible. For instance, he was talking about voting, as Adam Ruins Voting, and talks about the Electoral College and why it was set up the way it was. Now, by today's standards, it was pretty racist. But back when you're starting to form a country, you have no idea what's going to go. You have to put all these safeguards in place, and that was the whole point. So even though he may be trying to say, well, only 6% of the population could vote back then because they thought everyone else was stupid. Back then, everyone else was stupid. It was a smart move. So I still maintain the importance of the Electoral College, even though the episode was trying to make me not
Do you
want
see
it.
that being kind of the consistent headbutting we have today because of everyone seems to have their own voice and everyone feels that every voice is equal?
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. It's
Back in those days, you couldn't really talk to anybody. You had to write a letter, and that took a week.
Yeah, we have instant communication, which did not happen back then.
I mean, I can create a Twitter account, make something, and then they'll report it on CNN. Because those are always my favorite times.
Mm-hmm.
So, to me, I was like, man, that's a huge leap. Go from making a joke, and then all of a sudden you're on CNN because look what this guy wrote on Twitter. I'm James Gunn.
Yeah, right.
So, I don't know. I think it's part of the problem too. But
I concur.
So, there's nothing we can do about it. Though.
Absolutely nothing.
Just let it happen.
Just let it happen.
Yeah.
Shh, just let it happen.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's take our break.
Okay.
And then when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more. So, you've been listening to Mornings of Lone Star, irlonestar.com. Thanks for joining. We'll be back here after a brief moment.
Business office cleaning is available in the Montgomery County area from Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, with scheduled cleaning services such as floor care, window care, trash collection, restroom disinfection, and stair and elevator cleaning. Clean Sweep can service a business one time or on a regular schedule, with daily, weekly, and monthly options. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning can be found online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or by calling 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1 and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776.
Statistics show that 1 out of every 6 Texans struggles with food insecurity and hunger. And many people don't eat enough fruits and vegetables every day. The Better Living for Texans program is here to help you learn how to make healthy menu choices, save money at the grocery store, prepare quick and delicious meals, get more good nutrition in your day, and get more physical activity. Classes are fun, friendly, interactive, and free, and taught in English and Spanish. We are Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, helping Texans make their lives better.
The Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service has been dedicated to educating Texans for over a century. In 1915, the Extension Program was established under the federal Smith-Lever Act to deliver university knowledge and agricultural research findings directly to the people. Ever since, AgriLife Extension programs have addressed the emerging issues of the day, serving diverse populations across the state. Texans turn to Extension for solutions in horticulture, agriculture, 4-H and youth, and family and consumer sciences. Extension agents respond not only with answers, but also with resources and services that result in significant returns on investment to boost the economy. Join us Fridays at 1 o'clock for the AgriLife Extension Hour.
Welcome back. Mornings Lone Star IR, LoneStar.com. And of course, Facebook and YouTube Live. Everything's working pretty well on our end.
Awesome.
So
I love it when that comes together. I love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah, I like it. I do want to let's do some updates and things like that. What's going on this week? We have an interesting guest coming in Friday, and we were talking about earlier. We have James Pepe. He's from
James.
He's from Montgomery, but he's
Provide a pronunciation.
He's running for president in 2020. So we're gonna have him. He's on going for the Republican ticket. So, and this is legit. So this is gonna be a lot of fun. That's on Friday. So if you're interested in politics, that's probably gonna be a politic-driven day. Outside.
Can I debate him? Yeah, I don't mean on the air, but I think maybe he and I should have like a debate somewhere, like at Pacific Yard House or Corner Pub or something. Have a couple of podia and pitcher of beer each, and just
what we should do is
field questions.
Do a point system drinking game. So we're gonna have to get 5 judges.
Oh, dude, I'd lose.
And then whoever gives the most points out of that round, they just do the drinking game.
Yeah.
But so that he's coming in on Friday. So if you have questions and things like that, please let us know. Then we'll be here Wednesday and Thursday. So for the rest of the week, it'll be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for our show.
Awesome.
So just give everyone a heads up if they want to join us. And always, please let us know how the streams are, because we are on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. Maybe I figured it out. I don't really know. We'll see. But
just run with it, my friend. Run with it.
All right. So moving on. We were talking about movies. We talked about Pet Sematary a little bit, and we talked about James Gunn. I thought that was kind of a neat turnaround for that guy.
But what do you feel about them rehiring him? Good move, bad move, a very duplicitous move?
I think it's a smart move. They have to keep the momentum going for that series, and he's part of the original too. So if they're successful movies, then why get rid of a part that made it successful?
See, again, it's the knee-jerk. I'm not a fan of the knee-jerk reaction, and I think that's what happened. It's, tweets from 10, 15, 20 years ago. Yeah, they were bad. They were stupid. Were they worth losing your job over? That's open to interpretation. But it's like, I feel less for Disney now because they did change their mind. They have no conviction.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt the same way with the people who put on The Talking Dead and The Nerdist, who fired Chris Hardwick just right off the bat. The woman came and said, yeah, he beat me. You're out of here.
Yeah.
And then like, okay, so tell us what happened. Well, he told me what I could wear and wouldn't wear. Wait, what? I thought you said he beat you. Well, no, it was kind of abuse. And then other people started popping up going, no, this is not him. And then the shame forced The Nerdist and everyone else to hire him right back. And remember, he created The Nerdist, so his own board booted him out. And that awkward moment when they say, listen, we know we fired you, but you got to understand to look bad on us. So I got to give it to Hardwick because he's never publicly dissed them or anything like that.
The James Gunn situation, he's getting paid, and he's doing. I think the unique scenario where he's working for both comic book people now.
Mm-hmm.
So, which I don't think that would ever be allowed. 5 years ago. I can see that.
Yeah.
And now he's doing the third movie, probably the final movie for the Guardians of the Galaxy, which he wanted to do as a passion project, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
So he probably, if anything, he got paid a lot more.
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, when they brought him back, did they like...
Oh, yeah, totally.
Is he like, please hire me back and I'll work for peanuts? Or is he like, screw you people, back up the Brinks truck to my garage?
I bet what happened was, Disney always has these people like think tanks, You know, and they're like, all right, here's the situation. We have this movie.
Are these the same people that work out on an automobile recall?
Yeah, same people. And then they go, hey, we have this movie. No, we're not working on it anymore because there was a disruption in the production process. How can we get this movie to come out on this date? This is when we need this movie to come out. And, you know, the highest percentage was get James Gunn back.
And see, and that's why I'm just so...
Because he wrote the script. So he was part of that process.
Well, this adds to my frustration's the wrong word. This thing. What message does Disney now put out to the world?
Nothing. No one. That's going to be.
No, it's they put out that as long as the money. Basically, they said flat out, we have convictions until the dollar signs appear, and then we'll forget it. So it's okay. Well, either they were wrong in firing him, in which case there's been no mea culpa on them saying we overreacted. Or they were wrong in hiring him back. They are wrong one way or the other. And they should have either stuck with their original convictions and fired him saying, listen, this was beyond the pale. You're going to lose money. We don't care because these are our convictions. Or they never should have fired him in the first place going, listen, don't do that anymore. You know, you're on notice, my friend. You still got the movie, but watch out. They played it both ways, and both were wrong, I feel. Two wrongs didn't make a right here.
No, I think that's just the best way to do it, to handle it, and that's a smart decision because he's already involved. We don't really know what he's done on the third one. And I do remember reading that certain actors were like, no, I'm not going to do the third one if he's not doing it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they were kind of stuck, you know, stuck in that position. So,
and the same thing with Chris Hardwick. That was what got it going, that Yvette Nicole Brown, who sat in for him, you know, she felt bad. She was like calling him going, is it okay? Because they were grooming her to replace him because she's like the biggest fan of The Walking Dead ever. And he had no hard feelings. And you see him on the show. So
I mean, why he's a successful person in the industry.
Right.
Because he rolls over those kind of things. Like, all right, this is the way it is. I bet he has some serious contempt for that woman who claimed and nothing came from it.
Yeah, former girlfriend.
But that's just, I mean, that's why I would just.
But here's the thing, he's said and done absolutely nothing publicly about that.
Yeah, that'd be the smart thing to do.
I know.
Not to do that. So
I absolutely agree.
But yeah. Does that clear up everything for you?
Yeah, it clears up everything in the whole universe.
Well, good. All right. Well, I think that's what's going to be kind of interesting. Like, if you take this New Zealand thing that happened, what's going to happen in the future of that story? What are people going to do, creative-wise? Because I mean, every time there's a bigger news circuit of a topic, someone's already writing the script.
Oh, I see what you're talking about.
So, like, for example, the Kids in the Cave, they already talked about writing the script like within a week of it going on.
Mm-hmm. Well, where are we now? Well, yeah, but then they have, this guy's a pedophile. No, he's not. What? Who? Where's the movie?
What happened?
Yeah.
No, I mean, you had one of the biggest public billionaires talking trash about some guy. I mean, where'd it go?
Yeah.
So, but no, I think the New Zealand thing, that's one thing I'm kind of interested to see where governments are going on this kind of control over discussion and having this video. And then, like, what do they do when there's so many movies out there that are just as violent that I bet you think there's a movie out there right now that's already done that has a very similar, execution.
Sometimes there's bad timing. I remember there was a movie called, I think it was called Big Trouble. It had Tim Allen in it.
Yeah.
And it dealt
about the plane.
Yeah. And so 9/11 happened, never saw the light of day. Or I think it came out and it ran for like one day. And then they're like, no, sometimes it's just bad timing.
Well, that happened. There's a movie with Dev Patel, who was from that Slumdog Millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's from the same movie. He had a movie over there in New Zealand, and it was pulled because of just the topics. And they made a statement saying, out of respect for the country, basically, we're going to pull this.
Good. Because that hurt a lot of people financially and creatively.
Yeah.
So that's someone saying to their convictions. Now they also know that in a year or two they can show it, they can put it directly to video and make some extra money off of it. But I mean, to know that you're gonna really tank your chance of success by doing that, that's your convictions. That's where I'll stand up and respect your decision.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you got anything else for me today?
Well, we had a birthday today of
Oh, yeah?
a friend of the show, a Foss, Melanie Bush.
Oh, wow.
Our
okay.
county treasurer. It's her birthday.
Cool. What does the county treasurer get for her birthday?
Probably an extra 20 under the table. I'm joking. Notice every time that she was on that we made fun
Yeah,
of,
can't talk
of
about
that. Yeah, she was like, no, I don't do under the table deals.
Politicians got to be careful.
True.
Well, that's one thing I'm starting to notice is a lot of news organizations, and I know this probably gone on forever. I love the quote system people work on.
The quote system.
Yeah, so it's like if I'm going to quote you, 9 times out of 10, I'm convinced that like, oh, they're misquoting this person. Even if it like whatever topic it is, it's like, oh, they just took the one segment and probably right afterwards he says, no, I was just kidding.
Oh, yeah, right.
I feel like
you got to do the whole context.
Well, I mean, we are a headlines culture today, and the whole deal with quotes is getting pretty bad.
Well, that's part of the media's problem. They realize that the headlines sell, but they don't do anything beyond the headline. Have you noticed that? You get a headline, and then it's like stand by for continuing developments.
Yeah.
Then you don't have a story, and the headline's salacious. It's supposed to grab your attention, then you're supposed to read the meat of it. And when the headline's as long as the story itself, there's a bit of a problem there.
Yeah. I love that when you click on like Houston Chronicle articles, and it's like, oh, this is just a statement. It's like 4 sentences. Man, okay, I guess. But no, can you imagine being a politician today? Like, well, that's one thing I'm looking forward to Friday. There's a lot of opportunities with social media because it kind of evens the playing field a little bit. But then there's also like long term. 15 years from now, what have you done that might be seen as negative? Because I would say today's culture is kind of shifting its policy and moral compass on certain things.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's kind of like 15 years from now, what's going to be seen as potentially destroy,
Well, I think there's an overreach now. I think there's a knee-jerk reaction and an overreach of if you post something 10, 15 years old or an old yearbook photo that's dumb, you must be destroyed.
Well, Brett brings up a good point. One listener on Facebook is the worst part. He says the worst part is that they quote each other as sources.
Yeah,
and that is kind of funny because if you do like one of those visual diagrams of where did it come from, it's just like one big circle.
And that was hugely propagated by the Steele dossier,
Yeah.
where the FISA court said we need media stories on record to show that this is growing. So they took it to Yahoo and said, "Yeah, that was really poorly done."
Yeah.
I was going somewhere else. My mind just
Sorry, I
blanked
didn't mean to
too.
interrupt you.
No.
We're
it's
talking about
not-
political campaigns and changing the
Oh,
moral compass.
yeah. Well, you were saying, where's it going to be in 15, 20 years?
Yeah.
But the problem with that, and it's going to sound, I'm going to try and figure the proper way to phrase this. You can post something now that's socially acceptable. It may not be right, but it's socially acceptable. But in 10 or 15 years, not. For instance, 10, 15 years ago, we go, hey, sweetheart, hey, toots,
Yeah.
Whatever. That now, by today's standards, oh, we can't say that. Or hi, guys, and women are there. Oh, no, see, that's patriarchal. So by today's standards, something you posted 15 years ago is bad. But at the time, it was socially acceptable. Whether it was right or not is not germane.
Yeah.
So right now we could be saying stuff and posting things about Happy Columbus. Let's say we post Happy Columbus Day. And in 15 years, Columbus Day is, a bad holiday, and it's Indigenous Peoples Day. And anyone who celebrates Columbus Day is a white supremacist. Well, right now, no, you're not. So you got to be able to separate the context of when someone does something stupid, how stupid was it at that moment? You can't judge it by today's standards, and I've said that many, many times.
What you mean, like when you're in a yearbook and your picture of you in blackface sitting next to a guy in a Ku Klux Klan outfit? You need context for that one?
You need context for it. Well, here's the thing. Like I said, there's a show called Lend Me a Tenor or Othello. If you do Shakespeare, someone's got to wear blackface or pretend to be black. You take just that photo, and that person can be destroyed without the context. And I know the Omen is putting on Lend Me a Tenor, and so they're going to have to deal with that. But if you take the picture of the guy playing the the role and just put it out there, that person will be destroyed unless it's put in context.
What about messaging pictures of yourselves to what seem to be underage people?
No.
And your name's Anthony Weiner. Do you need to have context for that one?
Yeah, well, the context helps. Context works both ways. The context can either exonerate you or it can say, there is no way you can weasel your way out of this. And that's what Weiner tried to do. He's like, oh, no. Let's put this in context. Here's the number of times you texted her. Here's what you texted her. Because remember, originally he said his phone was hacked.
Yeah.
And so, okay, fine. Based on that one photo, that could be the case. So let's put it in context. Oh, no, you sent many photos over a period of time. Therefore, the context helps us.
Yeah.
Always put it in context.
Well, I mean, I think if you're going to be in the public eye, there is a way to conduct yourself.
But here's the thing.
But would you
How many 20-year-olds today think they're going to be president in 30 years? Or think they're going to be in the public eye?
I don't know.
You can't judge a public figure by posting things before they were a public figure.
Well, yeah, that's the fair way to look at it, but no one's going to care if they find a video of this dude drunk or girl drunk and, getting at a party. No one's going to care about context.
Well, they should. I think more people do, actually, because when they realize...
I think the individual does, but I'm saying
when they realize that this is all... When I say this could easily become witch hunt level, or Red Scare level.
Yeah. What's already happening?
Yeah, well, people are realizing... Everyone says communist, communist until their neighbor points a finger at them. And then they realize how easy it is. You can cry witch until someone else can say, well, you're a witch for saying it. Uh-oh. And that's when people start doing the big backpedal.
Yeah.
And I think we're in the middle of the big backpedal right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's certain... Well, the thing that sucks is you have Donald Trump as president. So it's like no matter what, it's going to get refreshed. So there's no escaping. There's no way to go cycle through this until he's out of the picture of everyday news organizations.
Oh, you mean as long as Trump's in power, the news just won't report the news? They'll just report
it's just you won't move on. There's no moving on until that guy is out. Because he's gonna, no matter what he does, he's gonna take up the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
There's only so many conversations we can have a day, and he consumes.
So whose fault is that?
I think everyone's just interested in him. I don't think anyone's at fault. I think it's just the way we like to work today.
Well, I'll put it in context. What is late night comedy going to do the second Trump is no longer president?
They're going to move on. They're going to do something else. They have younger writers. They're going to spice it up. I mean, it's not like they only hire so many people that just do that, but
but that's all they do.
They'll fire the writers. And they'll hire new ones.
Will they go after the next person just as hard?
Oh, no, it just depends on who it is.
Well, let's say it's Beto. Can you imagine the fawning coverage of late night comedy and Saturday Night Live if Beto won?
I mean, I don't really know.
No, I can. Because you saw, how many times was Obama spoofed on Saturday Night Live?
Yeah. I didn't really watch Saturday Night Live, so I have no idea.
Well, how many times did it make the headlines?
I don't know.
Or the actors going, yeah, I hate him so much. I enjoy playing Obama because I despise him. And the things that, Alec Baldwin says nowadays. Last president, because of course Saturday Night Live is political satire. They had Chevy Chase, falling over everywhere, making fun of Reagan. That's what you do. You had Dana Carvey. Yep, got to do it. It's part of the deal. Now, of course, President Trump gets butthurt and starts saying, oh, maybe there should be a federal investigation. He knows full well there's never going to be one. He just likes to rattle the pot. But
so does the Alec Baldwin. He likes to rattle the pot, too.
Yeah, agreed.
So
yeah, I don't disagree with that.
No, I think your question about what people are going to do, they're going to hire new people who have another outlook on it that works.
Well, those people are going to be those are the people that get a trophy just for showing up. So there's going to be fawning coverage of whomever it is, and it'll suffer even more. I really think a huge backlash will happen, like on the Colbert Show and Kimmel, the second they get what they want. Then it's back to the fawning coverage of whoever it is, and people go, wait a minute. You've been saying that your job as a comedian is to hold up a mirror, Kathy Griffin and everyone else. Where is it now? And people don't like to believe they've been taken advantage of. That is the one thing that I think is
Well, my
unforgivable to
theory-
most people.
Well, the theory on those groups that you talk about, like the late night groups, I think they don't have as much impact as they did 20 years ago.
Oh no, it's the
So
their
you're
reach are-
talking about something.
their
to
reach
me
is falling.
when it when 5 years from now it's going to be even worse. Like their reach is going to be even worse. Like they're not going up. And I think when you're looking at 5 years from now, they're going to be fawning. Yeah, they can fawn, but no one, they're not reaching anybody. They're not convincing anybody.
Good point.
So I mean, those eyeballs are somewhere else, and I think that's where people are going to start moving towards. Is it something else? I mean, I don't know anyone that watches late night talk shows. Do you watch them?
Not anymore.
So
It's
I
lazy
don't-
writing.
I don't really know anybody that watches them. But then again, like their stick isn't inviting to me.
No.
Like who they have as guests and stuff, like they don't seem that interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the only thing when I know in the past I talk about Joe Rogan. Like what I like about him is he gets interesting people on that I'm like, oh, they have this guy who does this antitrust stuff. I'm interested in that. I'll listen to this for 3 hours because I'm interested in that topic. But I think that's also what the late night talk show people are missing is they can't create something that interests people today because you're either consumed by Donald Trump talk or something other than that negative. So it's kind of like, why would I want to spend my time watching that?
Yeah.
So
We'll see.
why don't you go write for him?
What, a late night talk show? They wouldn't take anything that I wrote.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I think you'd be
Because it's
surprised.
not the walk on with a microphone, screw Trump and drop the mic. It'd actually be cutting satire that cuts both ways.
We'll see. We're going to take a break real quick. Mornings Lone Star, irlonestar.com. We'll be back after this.
Business office cleaning is available in the Montgomery County area from Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, with scheduled cleaning services such as floor care, window care, trash collection, restroom disinfection, and stair and elevator cleaning. Clean Sweep can service a business one time or on a regular schedule, with daily, weekly, and monthly options. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning can be found online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or by calling 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Are you interested in learning more about preparing quick, healthy, and safe meals for your family? Would you like to spend time with others learning tips and tricks, along with practicing and tasting nutritious food? If so, the On the Road to Healthy Living Mobile Cooking School is for you. Call Amy Ressler at Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service at 936-539-7825 to find a class near you or volunteer to host a class.
Are you one of those who feel that life is too short to drink bad coffee? Then come to Bean Pong Coffee. Bean Pong Coffee is open with 2 locations. Whether you're in downtown Conroe or historic Montgomery, we have the best fresh brewed and specialty coffee, delicious pastries, and courteous staff. Come visit us at 330 North Main Street in Conroe or 401 College Street, Suite 170 in Montgomery. Visit beanpongcoffee.com to see our complete list of special events.
A Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station at irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Hey guys, this is Connor.
This is Dick.
This is Chris. And we're with the Ticket Stub Podcast every Thursday live at noon on 104.5 and 106.1 FM in the Conroe area. Also, anytime at irlonestar.com. You go to irlonestar.com/TTS. You can find all of our social media.
And don't forget, we give away 2 tickets to the Grand Theater on every show.
If you like movies and you like complaining or celebrating anything that has to do with the silver screen, check out the Ticket Stub Podcast and join us every Thursday at noon o'clock on Lone Star Community Radio.
You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe and worldwide at irlonestar.com.
All right, welcome back, Mornings Lone Star. This is the last segment today. So
Already?
Yeah, man, it's 10:41.
Holy cow!
But we're broadcasting live on Lone Star Community Radio and other live stream options like Facebook and YouTube. But moving on, we were having discussions about the impact of late night shows and really way people think they consume their.
So are the hosts kind of in a bubble where they think they've got the reach and stuff? Are they not looking at the drop? That's when the producers go to the talent. They say, "Listen, ratings drop. You got to change it." So,
well, to give you to
is
give you
Jimmy
an example,
Kimmel going to like turn around?
To give you an example of a change, and I would say a drastic change, is look at Conan O'Brien.
Okay.
So he's been doing late night television pretty much his entire career, right?
Correct.
And just recently, he completely changed the format of his show.
I don't know. I haven't seen it in years. So what has he done?
It's not an hour anymore. It's 30 minutes.
Okay.
And basically what he does is he does sketch comedy, and then he has an interview, like a sit down, where like one-on-one kind of interview, not the couch and the desk and everything. And then outside of that, he does a podcast. So I think his more detailed content is on the podcast. And then for his entertainment on the show, 30 minutes, people can just enjoy it and they can watch little snip clips from YouTube and all that kind of stuff. So to me, that tells me that the money makers, the deciders, are going, hey, we're not retaining the audience we once did 20 years ago. We have to change it up. We have to make it more friendly for an audience that's constantly moving. So that's why I think that they're going to start seeing that pattern. If it's successful, shift into the Colberts and stuff like that, because people don't really care that you're interviewing Gwyneth Paltrow for the 9th time. I mean, you got to.
Well, here's the thing: people would care that you were interviewing Gwyneth Paltrow. Gwyneth Paltrow had something new to say or something new to promote, and I think that's where it's falling down. You're just getting the same people night after night who are in on the political joke.
And with the structure, though, that's one thing I am immediately turned off with the interview process that's on those shows is. It's way too scripted or way too limited. Mm-hmm. And you really can't. It's kind of like, I can't get over people watch Fox News and CNN when they try to do interviews for 2 minutes. Because, I mean, can you imagine? It's like, hey, let's talk about gun debate. 2 minutes, go. And they're never going to be able to get out a clear thought that actually can change a person's mind or get someone questioning things. So it's just not going to work that way. And they're going to figure it out. And I think also the advertisers are going to figure it out before they figure it out, because they're the ones that really inadvertently drive what happens to these shows is, oh, our contract comes up. Oh, we're not going to sponsor anymore. We're going to go over here because this is where we think more people are going.
Well, the advertisers more and more will start. They'll say, listen, you're only reaching this number of people. You can't charge us this much money. We're out of there. So, but you would think the talent, the Jimmy Kimmels of the world would realize this, and sooner or later they're gonna have to make a choice. If they keep going and take less money and make less money, or if they turn it around and say, "Listen, you're losing your bleeding audience because they're tired of hearing this. You got to stop preaching." And again, it's how married are they to their convictions? Well, do you think Jimmy Kimmel is capable of, if you were a producer and say, Jimmy, listen, you got to get off Trump. And it's not coming from the Trump office. It's that our advertisers are pulling. They're just tired of you saying the same stuff night after night. So you got to stop. Do you think Jimmy Kimmel would say, okay? Or do you think he doubled? Do you think he doubled? I think he doubled down.
Well, one thing I know is a lot of late night talk shows, they respond to everything. They're not creating, like, for example, the John Oliver show, they're the ones that do both. They create like a expose and then they do a react piece. But the late night people, they seem to just be reacting. It's like the opening monologues in the news.
But that's the thing. I stopped, not that I really watched Colbert to begin with, but I flat out refused where his monologue, it was the day that the dossier with the urinating on the mattresses came out.
Those are great.
And he made it totally part of the monologue. Then when you found out that it was not true, they never
You're looking at, they're saying, hey, we got to change the topics. I bet they'd go with it because they're getting paid. Like, they're not going to stick by it.
Then why are they still doing it? Because they're bleeding. They've lost a quarter of their audiences already.
Because they're writers. It's an easy thing to write. I mean, think about it. You're getting paid millions of dollars. I
think if Kimmel turned it around and suddenly stopped doing all the Trump bashing, based on advertising revenue, that he'd lose even more audience.
Well,
'cause-
think about what's his name, James Corbin. What's his name? The English guy who does the Late Late.
Uh-huh.
He's becoming more popular, isn't he? Because he's not doing that.
I don't know. I seriously, I don't watch any late night comedy
So-
because I'm tired of it.
Well, I have no idea what the current game in the late night show game is. I kind of stopped paying attention after Conan O'Brien got screwed over.
Yeah, with
So-
by Leno.
Yeah, that was. Well, I mean, that's just part of that. But I also think a lot of people are going somewhere else. I mean, there's going to be a whole generational shift when advertisers realize, oh man, the Super Bowl isn't that attractive anymore to put money into, because you're already paying like a good portion of their probably annual budget, and it's like
Pendulum. Governor of New Jersey is taking Newark as they're going to try a pilot program for the universal salary thing. I'm vehemently opposed to that. You don't get paid if you don't produce anything, a product or a service. You don't get paid for it. Period.
Well, I think there's ways to set up a system, to game the system, to be able to maybe, depending on the amount of people you're trying to help. But I think full ride UBI, that's going to have a hard way to. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, of course we need welfare, we need Medicaid, we need things to help people. We need nonprofit organizations like Crisis Assistance Center and Montgomery County Outreach to help people in need. God knows I've been in need in my past. And when my house flooded, without the generosity of friends and organizations, I'd really have been screwed over.
Yeah.
You know, but to demand it, to insist on it.
Well, I guess what stinks is once you go, there's no going back.
No, I think there is. The market will always correct itself if you let it.
No, I mean if you start doing like UBI, you can't.
Well, that's what they're saying. Let's make it a
You're-
pilot
you're
program.
gonna-
You're going to lose a lot of money as a result because the numbers say people, if you give someone something unearned, usually money or a grade, you know, they did that thing in school where they kind of socialized out the grading system. You found out that those who were getting A's were like, why am I working harder when no matter what, my A has now become a C because lower people screw it. And this has been proven time and time again.
Well, wasn't that kind of the philosophy? Was it Ronald Reagan or some Republican dude who was like, hey, instead of paying taxes once a year, you do it once a month and you physically write a check to the government. So he wanted people to see that this is where money's going.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
so instead
absolutely.
of your business taking the
it's
money
less of an
out-
abstract. That's why I'm not a fan of these
I don't
no
know who it
cash.
was. Some guy said that.
These no cash companies. It's like, oh, it's all no. Sometimes you need to see the bills leaving your wallet and physically handed it over to someone else. It makes it less abstract.
Yeah. Well, it's also if you start at a younger generation, they'll start getting the idea of what work is and how you can cheat the game.
Cheat the system?
Yeah. Because once you're introduced to the rules at a younger age, you'll have more of a comprehension of how to cheat as you get older.
Teach me the rules so I can learn how
Right.
to work around them.
I mean, then the whole idea of being a CPA isn't that like kind of like the understanding of a CPA is?
Yeah, when you have entire industries based on how to, as you said, game the system.
I mean, I'm right? Is that like
Wednesday on Mornings Lone Star, Dick and Skippy will revise the tax code.
Well, no, I'm actually kind of interested the way if you become a CPA, you imagine there's classes, of course. So I wonder how they introduce it to them. Like, hey, this is how, because they're always updating it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh,
when,
yeah,
when
it's-
you go to your conferences and stuff, it's like, all right, this is how we used to have a term called XYZ, but they changed it this year. So now we're going to call it ABC, but it's actually the same result and it'll save your client money. Right?
Right.
I mean, that's
makes sense.
Okay. I mean, that's why everyone wants to be a lawyer, right? So you can cheat the law, right?
Cheat the law.
All right, guys. Mornings Lone Star, IRLoneStar.com. I'm glad the stream system worked. So we'll definitely be back on Wednesday. Don't forget, we got a guy running for president on Friday. So that'll be an interesting show. So stick around for that. And we want to say a special thanks to our partners of Bean Punk Coffee, Montgomery, and Conroe. Creative Content Creation, C3Memories.com, and then Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. You've been listening to Mornings Lone Star, broadcasting live from Lone Star Community Radio at the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe. And Sean, I'll see you later.
I miss you, Dick.
All right. We'll be back on Wednesday, folks.
No more, hit the road.